All right.
Happy Wednesday, y'all. We are back.
Your eyes got so big. You're hey. It's Wednesday.
My
Welcome
eyes got
back.
big.
Yes,
As soon as you said
that, your eyes got bigger than they normally were. It was hilarious.
I didn't realize my eyes could get big. But
you were like, "What's up?" It's Wednesday. Girl Chat Sports.
Welcome.
Mo and Mel. You know how it is.
You know what we do on Wednesdays?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get in where you fit. Hey, if you're on right now, could you just share? Share. Say what's up. We're going to do a few shares right now.
It's a good Wednesday vibe. And it's overcast today. What is going on? So first it's 113 degrees. Then we lose sun. And if you live in the Southwest area, you had a huge downpour of rain. I didn't get any rain over here.
Not me, no.
But it's dark.
There was clouds. Yes.
It's clouds.
So a lot of clouds.
Man. And that means that's going to be more humidity than we know of. Like, that's how bad it's going to be now. It's going to be crazy humid.
It's monsoon season.
It is monsoon season. And the Lights have a match this evening. One of their 3 home matches they have.
Yeah, against Tacoma Defiance.
Yeah, against the Defiance. So they're going to be playing in some humidity, plus 113 degree weather, or 109 at 7:30. Yeah. And I hope there's more water breaks than what they normally have.
Yeah. Hey, Heather. Well, it's funny because I went to the Lights page and they were showing, the Mayor Cashman, Mayor Goodman and her husband, previous Mayor Goodman. And my little head cardboard was right behind him. I was like, bam! There I am.
See what $30 gets you? A bad photo op.
Did I say that?
Did I say that? I didn't mean to say that about that.
Granted, my head was kind of cut off, but
no, I'm saying a bad photo op because of the participants you mentioned previous to. Well, Oscar, that would have been a dope one. Yeah. I'm just, so I'm going to try and make it down there for Saturday's game. We'll see what happens. We'll see. You guys support our Las Vegas Lights. They are the local team that is the only team playing in Las Vegas at the moment. So show some love. Go on their Instagram. Drop a line. Let's show our support for our Las Vegas Lights team.
It happen.
They also have a group on Facebook too. So they have a social media group of Las Vegas Lights FC that you can join totally free. And show some solidarity support because, like I said, they're our Vegas team that's currently in Vegas and didn't have to leave to go to a bubble to play and represent. So if they're here, then we need to be here for them, even though we can't be in the stands.
Right. And unfortunately, they did have a COVID test positive, which they're not in a bubble. So, we'll get to that discussion again about the bubble versus non-bubble because we've got football coming up. Obviously, they're not in a bubble. We'll see kind of how that goes.
For watching the Hard Knocks, it's making me nervous still. Like, they're doing everything amongst each other. It's when they start crossing with other teams.
Right.
That I get worried about. Yeah.
Well, we're not going to know. I mean, right now they're fine. They're in a bubble technically. Like they're in their own. They have their own people, but come outside the season when the season starts.
That's what I'm saying.
September.
Like, how's that going to be when it gets to cross contamination type stuff going on?
And
not it's contaminated, but you got another team that you're
right. Well, and then like we mentioned before, like my Seahawks, they travel the most out of any team.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a lot of miles for these guys. I don't know. It's a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so other than
we're excited because we have some guests joining us.
We do have some guests joining us, but first, Nordstrom's has their sale on now, right? So have the people come out and shop, Mo.
I love the promo, but I don't even like to mention Nordstrom.
I just wanted
on
to
the
mention
podcast. But it's the anniversary sale. It's all new merchandise. Come on down, Fashion Show Mall, if you dare. We are social distancing in the store. We are very hygienic in our store. We are definitely wiping down after every transaction with a customer. We also sanitize our fitting rooms after every customer, and we are still observing 6 feet social distancing in the fitting rooms. So you are comfortable to come into our open spaced area. It's very open in the mall, or our store, I should say. And it's, you'll be comfortable. You'll be comfortable and you'll be safe. And we got great deals. Deals on top of deals.
Bam.
I'm not plugging Nordstrom again until we get a sponsorship from them. So therefore, that's my first and last.
I'm just saying, I'm looking out. I
love the support of people wanting to come shop with me. It's great. Support the Black businesses, even though Nordstrom not a Black business, but as Black sales associates, we need the support too. Exactly. So if you wanted to support our business, because we do get a percentage of what we sell, that would be great. I would love that.
I would love it too. There we go. All right. And also, just so you guys know, there's still some hats and some visors left.
Yes. We have a major drip for sale.
I lost the visor on the river, but there's good thing I got a stash here still. So that's
and
good.
The hats come in black. We got white and black hats. Yes. It's so dope. So
and arrest the toxic code Breonna Taylor, please. Obviously, you see our intro, our outro. We want to keep on using our platform to ensure that hopefully this justice can come to. It's got to happen sometime soon. It's just
you guys got to reach out to Kentucky. That's what we need. We need a task force and people to get on the phone, call the local officials of Kentucky, inundate their phone machines, and just let them know. Send a terse email, whatever you got to do to make this happen. And the DA, reach out to him. That's the main one.
And some of them have been fishy and changed their information too.
Yes, they have, because I've experienced it. But that doesn't mean that we're going to give up the fight. So keep doing what you do. Everybody just keep your head on a swivel with all of this, because it is not going away.
Don't let the vote and vote. Register to vote. If nothing else, make sure you register to vote and get out there and vote. Period. That's all.
Yes.
I need all this to happen. Okay. Enough of that. There's been a lot of sports this last week. So much sports that I didn't know I'd be able to watch it or contain or even hold all of it in. I've been happy and excited about it. But I know we've got a couple guys, guests from how do you say the brain fart?
I did too. I'm gonna have them introduce themselves. Let's let them introduce themselves, because I was thinking it too, and I was like, you know what? I don't know what it is.
I was like, say like
because I know, because in their sentence, yes, say like a champ.
And say like a champ, yeah.
And I'm always saying, say it like a champ. And I don't want to. So it's like, say like a champ.
I to get a brain
say
fart.
Like a champ.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the show. Please introduce yourselves. Let us know tell us about the podcast and how you guys got together to start that.
All right. Strizzy, you want to go for that or what?
Sure, I got it. So yeah, my name is Strizzy. As you can see below, we have a podcast, SayLikeAChamp Podcast. We talk about sports as well. A-Dub's my co-host, one of my best and closest friends, basically my brother. Anytime we get together, it's pretty much all we talk about. You know what I mean? We talk about family stuff too. We know each other for a very long time, since about 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
And we always knew that basically we were going to do some type of business venture together. Didn't know what it was going to be, but we knew it was going to be me and him all the way. So we came up with, the sports podcast. Alex came up with the name. We agreed upon it, and we just hit the ground running ever since. So we kind of do it's funny. Our podcast is very similar to you guys', you know what I'm saying? Like very open, funny, cracking jokes, but we also use our platform as well to talk about certain issues in this world as well. So I was actually really happy to see your guys' intro and stuff like that. So that's actually really, really dope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mel has Black friends, so she cares about us.
I feel it.
Of course. No, but yeah, I mean, I think it kind of came together naturally. Yeah, a lot of times we just end up especially we work together through the years and things like that. We would end up standing around in the parking lot after work, talking about sports or talking about different things. So we're like, we just need to, start kind of doing this. And last year, right before the first game of the NFL season, we just were like, all right, let's just start. This is a perfect time to start. Weren't necessarily ready, but we're like, let's get it. And we just did our 51st episode yesterday. So we're trying to just stay consistent and keep it moving. So.
Well, congratulations on the 54th episode. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. That was the one thing we agreed upon when we started. We're like, we're just going to have to be consistent and do it every week and just go from there. That's the one thing we kind of committed to. So we've been doing it ever since, and we do it now on StreamYard ever since this, so we use it. It's a lot like your guys'. We just do it on Tuesday nights, but interact with the guests and the comments and all that. So it's really cool.
And what time is your guys' show on Tuesday?
6 p.m. On Tuesdays, Mountain Standard Time, which is the same as Pacific time right now, but
right now. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's so weird how they do that because you guys are both in Arizona. So you guys don't switch time like we switch time when the fall comes, which I think they just need to get rid of that completely. But hey, whatever. But that's good. So, but Tuesday, I mean, StreamYard's been a blessing for I think a lot of people during these times is because we're able to still produce and to bring that content on a consistent basis to viewers and listeners without having to put anybody else at risk. Or,
absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, it's just very important that we do that.
Yeah. And it kind of made us step up our game as far as visual stuff too, like adding the intros and things like that, you know. So it's been cool. It's kind of helped us grow a little bit too.
Definitely.
Yeah. I've had to definitely try to research into a little bit more IT skills. Like I'm not a big IT person, but I definitely was trying to figure out, okay, like how can I make a background or how can I do this?
Yeah, it's all got to be the right size and the right, file type.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're learning on the fly too, to be honest. So we're right there with you.
Right.
So it's a learn as you go thing.
Being in Arizona, why don't you guys give us your sports allegiances of your teams? So I don't know if they are any Arizona teams that you guys are are your diehard fans of, or if you don't really have diehard. If you're not a diehard fan of any.
So it's kind of funny because a lot of people from Arizona are like this, where we don't necessarily like our own teams. But I am from Arizona, born and raised. But my sports teams, I like the Cowboys, the Lakers, the Royals. And hockey is the Avalanche, and I watch soccer too. I watch the Arsenal.
Okay.
So mine are kind of all over the place. It's kind of really scattered.
Wow. Yeah, I'd say so.
You threw me for. I lost focus when he said Dallas Cowboys, but then when he mentioned the Lakers, and then when he mentioned the Lakers, he came back to reality. That was back.
Got you. Mm-hmm. Shout out to our boy Trevor, by the way, that just made a comment. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny. Yeah, I'm basically in the same boat, born and raised in Arizona, but my allegiances are pretty much all over the place as well. I have my reasons for it too, but they're all over the place. My basketball team is Miami Heat. I'm a big Heat fan. Been a Heat fan for a long time. My football team is the Panthers. Let's see. Hockey is probably the only Arizona team I follow, which is the Coyotes. I do follow them as far as hockey goes. Baseball, it's the Cubs. I'm trying to think.
I gotta say though, I am a Mercury fan for sure. I mean, they're the only ones that brought back championship.
That makes sense. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I was about to say, do we have any? Okay,
no,
good.
But I do kind of follow Della Dawn too. So
yeah, she's dope.
I mean, that's So I watch them too. That was tough in the championship last year. That was crazy. So I was rooting for her.
Yeah.
It's tough for them now. I mean, I was surprised at how well they started this season without her and like talking about that they've kind of trickled back.
How do you guys feel about how it's going though? I kind of thought they did her kind of dirty though, Della Dawn personally, how they were kind of like trying to force her. They're like, we got you an exemption. And she's like, I didn't really ask for that. So, but I know that they need their star power too. So how do you guys feel about that?
Well, she felt like if it was a health issue for herself, then that's what's a priority. Do you want to play now, or do you want to play now and not be able to play in the future?
Because she's been through a lot too.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with her stance on that. Yeah,
she had to take a stand because her health was involved.
Absolutely.
And it just shows more of like a type of greed situation if they did force her to stay. Like for what? You know what I mean? That you're not valuing the player, but you're making it like a commodity and you need them, like in that sense. So,
well, and especially since they gave the other person on that team, I forgot her name, she got the medical clearance right after Della Dawn got denied. So it was kind of like, it just,
a little contradictory and hypocritical.
Yeah. Absolutely. Again, it's all about them dollars. That's all it is.
But you guys got a new acquisition to your Phoenix Mercury. So how do you think you fare with the new?
I thought they were going to start out even hotter, honestly.
Right.
We're 6-5 right now.
I mean, but they're coming along. I don't exactly know how the playoff format is going to go. Did they expand the playoffs or is it still limited? Because as long as they get in, they should be able to make a run, I still think, with the players they have.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to change.
I want to say that it was expanded maybe by 2 teams, but then I don't think
so. I think
I
have to look it up. I don't think it changed.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think they're keeping it regular status quo because this would be their normal season anyway. They just were like a few weeks delayed from the start.
Yeah, pretty much. Only a couple weeks.
So I think it's running its course like it needs to. In my opinion, I think that's how it's going to go.
Well, because they were supposed to even have that big break for the Summer Olympics too during the regular season, which that didn't happen. So yeah, they were pretty much back on course to finish it up. But our Aces are doing well. We had a 7-win game streak, except for last night. But it's those Chicago Sky, man. For some reason,
they were up by 16 points, Melissa. They were up 16 points. I beat them on the game last night out of spite. Like they were up 16 points. How do you lose that lead? And let me just say real quick. Let me just bow down real quick to Angel McCoughtry because she is bringing it.
Angel is bringing it. She is the difference that our team has.
She is the difference that we needed, and that's
especially
good
with
piece.
Kelsey and with Liz on.
And we miss our big and Liz. Now I'm not gonna lie, Carolyn has been holding it down. She's not quick to get to the end of the court, but when she's under there, she is leading in assists for that team as a franchise. She's the number one earner on assists as a player, but Asia just got neutralized. Like they just were D'ing up on her so tough. And I saw it get into her head mentally. And I think that was kind of like a little bit of a collapse of why we didn't keep pushing to a certain degree.
Right.
And I think we have to recognize it is. They got a Saturday game. They got a good Saturday game. Got Seattle Storm, Breonna Stewart and company. They've been on a run too. What are they? What is it? 9?
They are 11-1.
11-1. What is that?
Stewart's going for the MVP, huh?
Yeah, she is. Yes, she is.
Yeah.
So, and we posted an article too about her, and that was my girl power moment for this episode was for Stewart, because when she had her Achilles injury, she put up $30,000 of her own money to get rehab to do her.
I didn't realize that.
Like that's yoga, crazy. Pilates, strength. I mean, she literally invested in herself, and look what it's done for her. It's like it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm happy for her. The Storm are a great team. They've got a great organization. They've always, they've got 3 champiomships under the belt already for, they've got the most championships in any Seattle team.
Right.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to mention how them Dodgers did your Mariners last night.
I know. We can get to baseball.
It's funny though. Strizzy and I were actually at Breonna Stewart's first game here against the Mercury, her rookie year. We actually game, we got hooked up with sweet tickets. That was a great night, and I was like, man, I was really excited to check her out. So she's definitely fit the bill from day one, basically.
Oh, yeah. She's pretty. I mean, she's been doing great. I'm happy that the team has done so well. And just so we all know, just so everybody knows, Coach Bill got his haircut today, so there's going to be no shaggy, he needed to.
Did they sneak a barber into the Wubble for him?
No, they actually have a hair person there now because a lot of the girls got their hair done the last day or two. But I think he might have been waiting until if there was a lot. I think they were doing so well. Why cut it? Maybe
it was a superstition with him to not cut the hair.
I believe it. I probably would too. Yeah.
I believe it.
So speaking of the WNBA and the bubble situation, what have your guys' thoughts been just in the bubble period? Like obviously we see how bubbles are working, right?
First of all, let's just before we get to that, if it's not WNBA, NBA, we have to talk about these Suns and how well they fared in the bubble in correlation to how their experience.
Oh, I meant discussing
just all of it.
I'm not talking about WNBA. I'm just talking like.
Oh, okay. Because you mentioned WNBA, and that was it. And I just thought,
no. I meant how the bubble in all sports.
Okay, gotcha.
And where we can see that happening, because now, Major League Baseball thinking about having a bubble playoff scenario. Like, what are your guys' takes on the bubble? What do you think is the biggest, problem for the bubble as far as fan wise, or what do you think the pros and cons are for the bubble?
So I think so. I mean, so far as the NBA goes, the bubbles, I think they've worked actually out very well. I think it's really kept the players inside. It's kept them away. It's helped them social distance. You've noticed in the NBA, we've had 0 positive tests for coronavirus, and all that fun stuff. And the negatives, though, are that they're all grown-ups, you know what I mean? And it's hard to tell a grown-up what to do and what they cannot do because that makes them almost want to rebel even more and go outside. But I think it's actually really working. I think a lot of the sports that haven't started yet, example football, can really learn a lot from the NBA and how they've taken, how they move forward with keeping their players and their all personnel safe. So I think it's worked out pretty good so far. And after the first, week or two, because it's worked out so well, now they've allowed them to have family members come in, up to 4, and one family member to come to the actual game. Yeah, so it kind of helps with them. Like they're starting super slow, but to be able to bring, quote unquote fans into the stadium. So I don't know, it's working pretty well. I think a lot of people can, a lot of team organizations can learn from it.
Yeah, I think one thing that's hard though, or what NBA has the advantage at least, is the roster sizes. It's a lot smaller, and it was only the playoffs. The NFL and the MLB are not in a situation where they can do that as easily. But I think for the MLB, for instance, they do need to make a playoff bubble if they want to get through it at least efficiently. Right now, they're postponing games left and right. They're doing a lot of double headers, 7-inning double headers. So that's rough for now, but I'm glad that they're making it work. The schedulers are getting their money, but they're making it work. So I kind of am in favor of the bubble. I just don't know how it would work unless, for instance, the NFL, they're going to have to do it on their own. They're basically just going to have to set up their own little bubbles in their own towns or something like that. But
I don't know. It's tough.
How does that work for the visiting team to come, though?
True.
Like, I feel
don't
like
know.
if you need a division or the subdivisions of the NFC and AFC, maybe each hub of those be up their own bubble.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know how that's going to work.
Clear out a hotel for the visiting team too, just to come right into.
Yeah,
I don't know. But if you're not keeping them quarantined like in the middle of the week, then it doesn't really matter if you do that on the weekend. So it's tough.
Yeah. It's a conundrum.
What did you guys think about the Cleveland Indians though? Their little issue. Did you guys hear about that? The pitchers.
No, tell me what happened.
So 2 pitchers like basically snuck out and went out to dinner.
I did hear that. Mm-hmm.
And apparently they're some of the players are basically saying if they let them back on the roster, they're gonna opt out, or they're really
like if they don't get any kind of punishment or get some kind of consequences for it, then they're gonna not play. Which I think
they should do that.
There should be. Like the thing is that there's protocols for a reason. So if you're not even in a bubble, you should at least be following the protocols so you're not endangering yourself and others. Period.
Exactly.
But they need to instill that as a rule for them to do that, so they won't be tempted to do that. And since they didn't, maybe they'll just make an example out of them. Hopefully.
Well, and those protocols were put forth because of what happened in Miami and with the Marlins, or what happened. What was the other team? The Cardinals. I mean, there's a reason why it happened. And then these guys went out and decided to just go have dinner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they put the protocols in, but they don't say this is what happens if you break these protocols.
Right. They don't have the guidelines.
So that's what I'm saying. There's the guidelines, but if you go outside the guidelines and there's no punishment, and now you're having to see a punishment, that's going to be interesting. They need to set an example then. The example definitely needs to be set on that.
Especially with Clevenger, the one he went back on the plane with them. One of them got caught and he drove back so that he would be separate from the teammates. The other one went on the plane with his teammates, where it's like he knew he was, But one other interesting layer is apparently they put them down on the other squad for like a 20-day thing, but they could lose a year of service time based on how long they'll be down if they don't play enough games this year. So they basically could cost them millions on the back end of their contract because they're not gonna. This year won't count for them if they leave them down. So very interesting. It's crazy.
That's what I was saying too, because when it happened to the Marlins, when they were down all those games, it's like, how do you come back from that when all the other games are going? How do you catch up to even
a lot of them are
into a playoff contention?
Right. I'm wondering if they're gonna have to like build like a week after the regular season is supposed to stop so that they can try to make up whatever has to be made up, or if they're not in playoff contention, I guess they'll just cut them. I don't know.
Yeah, I found that to be really, really strange and interesting.
It's a lot.
It is.
It's definitely a lot.
It is. So with
I know for like
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, so I was just gonna say, like, with it coming to the bubble for the NBA, obviously some teams have done really well and some not as well. But I mean, having no fans has seemed to be like a gift, but also a curse. You know what I mean? Like the Suns, who probably don't have too many fans normally during the season, if it was like in the arena, are probably used to a similar empty stadium. But these guys went off.
Right.
And they got a new coach too.
True.
I love Monty Williams.
I love Monty too. I love Monty Williams.
That was a great pickup.
I was all about it. And it was a great pickup, great inspiration for them. He gave them hope for the following season. But to Mel's point, the bubble I feel like for the younger kids that are not used to the noise, are playing more efficiently and accurately better. Right. And are honed in than the distraction of ambiance.
And I think too, some of these players are like self-starters. They're like, okay, I got game. It doesn't matter where. And other players, especially like role players, it seems like they need the momentum of the crowd. They need, everything going right to kind of get into it.
They do. That's the Lakers. We vibe off of having a crowd there.
We know. I mean,
we are so Hollywood with that.
Was already making his pre-excuses about I've never played in a bubble before, but it's like nobody else has either. You know, you got to get it done.
You do, and he has to play to no crowd, no noise.
Right. He likes to have that.
Used to it, and he likes to have that noise. He likes to hear the jeers and the jaunts. Now, to Utah and maybe Arizona's benefit, some of those young kids don't have to hear the derogatory comments being made, anything that gets in their mental space, none of that. So it works. It really does.
Just go out and do what they do.
I know. So were you upset with the Brooklyn loss over Dame and company by 1 point? Because had Brooklyn won, then Phoenix would have been able to go right on in, right?
They would have had to do a little play-in tournament. Yeah. I was surprised that Portland even played around with them for as long as they did in that like elimination style game.
It was pretty close.
Yeah. I was like, how are they even struggling with the Nets right now if their life's on the line? But I think the Lakers, it's fine, whoever they have to play. Like, I'm kind of glad they got somebody hot like this because they're just going to have to show right away. Like, they can't mess around.
And do you have the Lakers winning the series? And in how many games?
I do. This series,
mm-hmm.
I still kind of think it might be just in 5 games. It still might be 4-1.
Really? I'm giving it 6. I'm giving it 6. Just
I give it 6 too.
I give Lakers 6.
Let's hear the Laker fans' takes on the first game.
Well, maybe I'm just trying to keep myself too calm. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I think they did the right thing. I think they have a decent strategy on how they want to do this. Let AD shoot as much as he wants. Let him go off. LeBron, to me, I think he just needs to be like a Jason Kidd type player. Just facilitate, get everybody else going. Don't worry about yours. But when you get yours, hopefully it's a wide open 3 or you're going to the hole. But I think they have that right because that worked all last night. Everything was up. But Danny Green, KCP, all they need to do is hit 3, 4, 5 threes, and it's a whole different game. They had nothing, and I don't think they're going to just be poo-poo the whole series.
I don't think either because Frank Vogel's job is on the line if they don't win the series. And to be honest with you, everybody was like, oh, my God, the Lakers are down by 16. They're behind. I'm like, calm down. It's just game 1. I wasn't tripping. I was more tripping off of and if you notice, if you really watch Lakers basketball, they've been terrible offensively through this whole bubble. They haven't played well.
Right.
Neither team last night played dynamite. The only one that really showed dynamism is Dame Dollar from shooting from mid-range, which he does.
Man.
That's nothing new. But they both were a subpar. My issue is this. If you got 5 men at the end of on Portland's team, and it's coming into the fourth quarter, and they're all in five personal fouls, and you mean to tell them LeBron's not going to go in and try to
go to the hole?
Go to the hole.
But he's scared to shoot free throws.
Because he's terrible at it. Along with AD.
He doesn't want to go to the line.
It doesn't matter. It'll stop the momentum. If he gets 1 out of 2, we're still in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing you have to take those risks on. I don't care about his triple doubles and being higher than Kobe Bryant in the franchise history because you didn't win the game.
Right.
So, and I'm also noticing with Laker games too is when they pull units in, usually AD runs a unit, and he has Deion Waiters, and he has Caruso, and he'll maybe have JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard running center. When they play like that in that system, they win.
Right.
Sometimes it's good to see AD and LeBron on the court together, but sometimes in those quarters, sometimes they need to split that up. And why was Deion Waiters only playing 1 minute? I don't understand. When you've got a bench player who averages double points in a game, why is he not playing?
Yeah, if anybody's been consistent with the Lakers games in the bubble, it's been Deion Waiters.
Thank you. So why is he not playing? I don't know. They're gonna make me walk all the way to Orlando and answer some questions. They really are. Like, this doesn't make no sense.
I agree because the one thing the Lakers were really missing last night is that lethal just scorer. Like, I'm just gonna go get a bucket right now. And Deion Waiters is that kind of guy where he'll just go create something, but they were doing so much passing the ball, passing around, waiting for that wide open shot, and then they're missing them still. So,
and I got to tell you, some of these guys are not used to playing with LeBron in certain tops of the third quarter or within minutes of the game. Like that.
The rotation's got to be locked in.
The rotation has got to be locked in, and sometimes they're not used to his sneak bounce passes and that because they don't play with him like that.
Right,
so, Frank, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? They'll adjust. I mean, like I said, it's just game one.
He's got all those assistant
You got
coaches
key
over
pieces.
there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
got a whole bench over there. You got
Figure it out.
Figure it out. For real, You didn't play Swish. You didn't play J.R. Smith to give him any relief. I feel like Dwight Howard should have started. He was in foul trouble really early on. Even if you had started Dwight in the first part of the quarter, switch to JaVale McGee, whatever, switch them back and forth. Keep rotating your bigs.
Right.
Just let them get boards. Keep rotating your bigs. I don't get it, but they better get it, and they better get it quick because they did not.
They can't afford to go down.
They cannot.
Though.
They cannot.
Well, I think Laker fans everywhere saw the fourth quarter starting, and Portland looked like they were tired. They looked exhausted. They're playing slower. They were spent.
Right.
Next thing you know, out of nowhere, Dame comes through, and the whole squad is energized again.
Right.
Like they were mentioning on TNT was that it's not Dame time isn't just about Damian Lillard. Like it ain't just Dame time. When it's Dame time, the whole squad has leveled up. Like
because he is the catalyst. He's that firecracker, and we had neutralized Dame where he was quiet in the third a little bit.
Caruso was playing good defense on him.
And
actually,
Caruso was D'ing up on him. But you cannot have the reverse thing of Caruso going up against Hassan Whiteside. Like, what are you doing? Like, why was that match there? That's crazy.
Shout out to Arlington and Trevor, I guess is one of your friends, Alex, that have been going in on the.
He's one of our guys,
Yeah, they both did. I thought I didn't like the Lakers either, but clearly them two are with it as well. But thanks everybody in the chat. You are watching Chat Sports.
I mean, I'm just. I just. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
Definitely.
But they've been playing like this through this entire bubble. Like I said, they probably need the noise in the crowd. I just need Vogel to change up his units. I think he needs to stick to the units that he had before in place. Play Dion Waiters. Play him.
Right.
Why is he KCP playing for 22 minutes and scoring 1 point?
29 minutes, I think.
29 minutes. Useless.
Right. He's got to get it going, but I don't see him being that bad again, you know.
He better not be.
But I definitely, in the fourth quarter, I think there was a point where the Lakers were up like 5, and I was like, all right, they need to put him away right now, because if they mess around, you know, they don't have that, you know, that clutch, like that final minute guy, So
that's the thing too with Dion Waiter, because he played for Miami with, so I watched him a little bit too. People forget how talented he is offensively.
He go get you a bucket.
No, he's a straight bucket getter. In my opinion, I think he should have more minutes than KCP. In my opinion, because he is that good.
I feel like they can start him, and KCP could come off the bench like he's had in the past. KCP has come off the bench, like he can start that.
And he shows no fear. He shows no fear either. Like,
no
he'll shoot it when he needs
whatsoever. Shoot when he needs to. That's
when Danny Green and KCP weren't firing, I think at least get JR, get Dion Waiters in there, get them a couple shots. If they start hitting, leave them in there.
Yeah.
See what happens. So
exactly.
So who are you guys' exciting teams to watch on the East and the West? Because I have a top 3 in the West that I enjoy watching, and I have a top 3 on the East that I enjoy watching.
For me, I basically just watch like every Laker game. That's my West Coast team. But my dad is a big Sixers fan, and so we live together. We have all the different packages, so we get all the MLB and NBA games and all that stuff. So we watch a lot of times the Sixers on the East Coast, and then the Lakers later on.
Gotcha.
I think. I like to watch the Houston Rockets, honestly, too. They're pretty cool to watch, the little small ball. Even though I really don't like Mike D'Antoni, I'll watch them play because I love Russell Westbrook and his intensity. So,
well, I know why you don't like D'Antoni, because when he was our coach, it was just a travesty.
Yeah, it was bad. It was all bad. But then also the Pelicans. I actually love Brandon Ingram. That was like my favorite guy. That was like my please don't trade him, anybody but him.
Me too.
So I still like to watch the Pelicans, and obviously Zion too. So he's exciting.
So what do you think about the whole with Russell Westbrook being out? Like they seem to do better when Russell's out.
I know, but that's like a dangerous thing to say, because maybe in spurts, 1 or 2 games maybe play better, but over the long haul, they need him if they're gonna make
a real push. Yeah,
they need Russell for sure. Yeah, there's no doubt that we don't.
That when he comes to being not able to play, that they really do good, and it doesn't seem to phase them that he's out.
Right. It was kind of like that though with like John Wall and Bradley Beal. It was like whichever one, when one got injured, the other one would play better without him. It's kind of weird how that happens sometimes. Mm-hmm. But nah, Russell Westbrook, I love that guy. He's crazy.
Who are your 3?
So my 3 on the West that I actually enjoy really watching play, I'd have to say The Mavericks for sure, because I'm a huge Luka fan.
Me too. I'm enjoying the Mavericks games.
Yeah,
I'm so enjoying them.
Love watching him. Honestly, like he's one of my favorite players to watch, period, right now. I like watching the Blazers too, as far as the playoffs go, because I'm a huge Damian Lillard fan. Like when he got drafted, like I was one of the people who was like letting him kind of fall a little bit in like the fantasy basketball stuff, because I knew he was going to be really, really good, but I knew he would fall because no one really knew about him. And then another team, West Side, that I really like to watch are, I'd probably go with the Rockets too. You know what I mean? They're fun watching it. You know, as much as people like to hate on James Harden, he's just too fun to watch.
Man.
And then also Westbrook's also, but he's one of my all-time favorite players as well. On the East Coast, obviously Miami Heat. That's my squad.
Yes, I'm excited about them. I'm all about it. I'm loving Bam. Bam is my guy. Like,
my dude, I know.
He stepped it up.
Bam, man. Did he? Oh,
Bam is my guy.
I'm a Bam fan.
Yep. Let's see who else on the East do I like watching. It's funny because I'm a kind of an East Coast watcher because of the Heat. I'm just like nobody. But Sixers. They've been really weird this year, but I actually do really like watching Joel Embiid play. He's a monster. One of the last kind of true big men in the league.
When he decides to play.
True. He had a pretty good game last night, though. Just not last night, not before, but just not enough to put it away. And then the Raptors. They're so good. They haven't lost a step since Kawhi left. They blew the Nets out again this way. What they're supposed to do, obviously, because the Nets are shorthanded, but they're taking care of business for sure, even without Kawhi Leonard being gone.
Dare I say, I'm going to call it now. I feel like it's going to be a Heat Toronto coming out of the East type series.
If the Bucks don't get it together, absolutely.
The Bucks are boring to watch. I never like watching the Bucks game. They're a boring game to watch. And they lost to an 8 team on game 1, but I hear no one talking about the Bucks either. They all focused on our Lakers, but I hear nothing about them talking about the Bucks losing to an 8 seed. No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying the talking heads today all were focused on the Lakers, and it negated everything that the Bucks did on the East, losing to an 8 seed team yesterday too.
Talked about the Bucks for like an hour before the Lakers game started.
And let's not act like the Portland Trailblazers are worse than the Orlando Magic, because the Trailblazers are a squad. They didn't play very good in the regular season this year, but like last year, they were the 4th seed or something like that. Year before that, got to the playoffs too. Every year, it seems like they've gotten better. Getting to even though they got swept in the Western Conference Finals last year against the Warriors, but they've gotten better every single year. So.
They have, and it's always been an injury, and not to mention they don't have Trevor Ariza playing right now for Portland, and then our Vegas boy Zach Collins is not in the game.
I know.
Represent Vegas.
Though. I mean, Carmelo's
doing it
3 last night too, which was
Carmelo's been clutch this whole time, and they've started him too. They put him in the starting lineup. He's definitely earned his spot and place with Portland for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. I just want the Vegas boy, Zach Collins. I want to see him dance again. Our Vegas boy.
But I think they said he was going to be healthy this series, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be coming back. Same with Rondo. But Rondo, to me, it's kind of like you bring Rondo in. Yeah, maybe a couple points here. He's just the equation of swish. Just playing.
The one thing I like about Rondo, though, is when the team needs a bucket or the momentum needs to change a little bit, the rhythm of the game, he can really make things happen. He still is like a general in that way. And they always say playoff Rondo, so we'll see. Maybe he comes and helps a little bit. But, I mean, because him and AD, just the two of them, they beat the Trailblazers before in the playoffs when he got going. So he does have the opportunity to change the game or the capacity to. We'll just see. I don't know. He's always hurt, though.
Another wrist. I don't want another finger broken. I don't want a wrist broken. Knock on wood. I don't want any of that to happen, because it seems to be as soon as he gets back into a game, he's still not 100%. It's snap, It's like, God dog it. So I just don't want that going on. I hope he's strong and healthy and can put up some boards for us. But they need to play Dion Waiters. I'm really tight about that. That just really got to me.
We'll see tomorrow.
I got a question for you Laker fans real quick. So LeBron had a big triple-double last night, right? And they still ended up with a loss. Me and A-Dub are known for giving LeBron a little bit of a hard time. We know how great he is, but we kind of give him a hard time a little bit. Do you think LeBron is too passive? Even with the amount of assists, do you think he's too passive?
I don't think he's same Cleveland LeBron, if that's what you mean. I think age has kind of predicated that for him to be this type of facilitator, because, again, he's not going to be with our franchise much longer. So he needs to be that assist guy to make them elevate to the, especially if we keep AD, especially if he decides to stay on with us. I do think in some of these this past plays from yesterday, He was a little too passive. I would say, just like I said, you got 5 guys in foul trouble over there, and you're trying to shoot perimeter shots. You ain't shot in I don't know how long. Then you try to go for a mid-range 3. When was the last time you shot a mid-range 3?
Right.
LeBron? Lakers are a team that score in the paint. That's how we score. We don't
That's
shoot at the. You can force our shot. Yeah, that's how.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's gonna turn it on though. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna be out there Thursday wearing my Lakers mask.
Oh, nice.
Doing my thing, I'm gonna represent. But yeah,
that handy, didn't she?
What's that?
I said you had that handy, like ready.
I sure did. I was ready. I was like, let me show I'm still Laker Nation. This one game, y'all. One game, and I'm giving them 6. Big Lex, I agree. 5 has been a predictable thing. Some people are saying Portland in 5. I just send them popcorn emojis with a martini glass and say, let's sit back and see.
Right.
But this is another one
I think it's possible.
This is another one of those cases too, though, where there is no home court really. We don't have
there isn't.
So does that make it a difference on whether it might go 6 or 7, or if they may, God forbid, not win? Or you know what I mean? Like, how much does that home court really play for the Lakers too?
Well, it would have meant a whole lot with the legacy of Kobe Bryant of us playing there. It would have meant even more. And I think, you try to keep that in your back of your mind, and you have some of that pressure to try to account for as well. But they ain't playing like they want to play for Kobe's legacy. They better get it together.
Right.
Like something else needs to be another motivation.
Well, because they announced Monday that there was officially going to be Mamba Day, so 8/24 this coming Monday. Right. Also, the Lakers are going to be, I think, aren't they all wearing his jersey or something for him?
Yeah,
only if they make it.
If they make it.
Yeah. If they make it past the first round, then they'll wear it.
That's what the jerseys come into place. Yeah.
This Monday, they won't still be playing by then. I mean, you mean if they lose
No, they're just saying they said they won't wear them until the second round.
Second round of the playoffs. This is first round. They're wearing these unis, but when a second round hits and we're in, we're playing with a black.
So it's like a little incentive.
Wearing them for the Monday for Kobe Day.
I mean, I don't think they're probably gonna do something else with Kobe, but I don't think it's those. It's supposed to be for second round playoffs. So they better live up to that, because I want to see them in those unis. Those unis are nice for Black Mamba. Yeah, they got to represent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What a year though. Can we in 2020 could just go
any which way, yeah.
Anyway, but here we're done. Like I think I've had so many friends that have had something happen, this or that. I mean, we all of us know someone that's been through trials and tribulations 2020, whether it be losing a job or getting COVID or being sick or whatever else the case may be. And
losing a loved one, God forbid.
Losing a loved one, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then you always say, well, I can't wait till next month. Like it's just going to end, and it hasn't ended yet.
I know.
Like it's just not like do you dare even ask like what's next? Like, I mean, so let's move on to college football. My question I had last week was, how is it that some conferences can cancel and then some can't? Like, shouldn't there be a mainstream where, hey, we're all doing it or we're all not? Because we're all in the U.S., we're all in the same country. How is it some divisions can go and some conferences can go ahead and play and some can't? And not to mention the repercussions of that leading into like combine, draft, players sitting out, players opting out because now they want to go for the draft because their season was cut. I mean, what are your guys' takes on college football and kind of like the
man? So I love college football, and I get what you're saying as far as it should be a unified thing. But I think this is really kind of exposing the NCAA for what they are, which is fraudulent. They let these conferences run themselves, and then they just take a percentage off the top to say, you want to put my NCAA logo on your thing. So they don't really have any control, like as far as that type of, governing body that they probably should. I'm a Georgia fan. That's my college football team. I have family out there in Athens, Georgia. They introduced me to that as a young kid, so that was like totally different than anything I saw here. And I just feel like I always felt like, the SEC would probably go forward hell or high water, because that's just so important to them. But I do think there's major implications, like you were saying, all the different things about skipping or even now players trying to transfer into the SEC or the Big 12 so that they can play this year. So it's really opened up a lot, but on a kind of side note, though, I think this could be the end of the NCAA, like as we kind of know it, and the Power Five, and this could lead into like in the next years, maybe just a super league or something where it's like 25, 30 teams of like the best top normal teams with the tradition and everything, and it's just going to be like a junior NFL. I think this could shake up everything the way they're all going in different directions.
Yeah, especially with the whole pay scheme too. If they're going to start paying players,
paying the players,
absolutely. I completely agree. That's the thing too with the NCAA is they want zero responsibility and no reliability. You know what I mean? For them, they want.
They still want their cut. They still want their percentage of everything.
100%. They still want their money because that's how they are. I said it on our show. The NCAA is very good at making money. They're not very good at spending it. So, you know what I mean. So I don't know. I completely agree with everything A-Dub said, and we'll see. We'll see how things go.
Yeah, I think that's one thing though too. Like you were saying about the pay and the amateurism, I feel like that's one thing that's holding them back because if they were to admit, hey, football players are a little bit different. And then they could test them potentially, and they could set up maybe a team bubble, and maybe they could have more different precautions for them to get through the season. But to do that, they would have to admit these are not normal students, and they'd have to, basically give up that whole guise of no, they're student athletes and they're students first. So I think that's part of what's holding it back.
Well, and then what about for the colleges that are going to be playing? I mean, we've seen what happened up in Notre Dame with about 60 some odd students all got infected with COVID. A couple of teachers, they had to shut the campus down. Yeah. How can you then separate the college athletes from the students? I mean, I don't know about you, but my college days, putting that scenario into COVID mixture is not a good mix. And then you're going to try and keep these kids, they're still kids, these kids that are athletes.
You can't. There's no way.
Scenario. I mean, and they're bringing it back to a team that maybe some of them are trying to really stick to protocol, but others are still living that wild college life. I mean,
it only takes,
You can't, that's too, they're kids. Key word, they're kids.
Yeah.
There's no discipline in that kind of, that thinking for them. There's not enough discipline in the world for a college student athlete to be able to stay focused on a game. There's just no way. I don't see it being successful at all because they're going to break their curfew. They're going to sneak girls in. They're going to go to the parties. There's no way that you're going to be able to police that at all to a certain degree with a whole team. How many kids on the team?
Oh, I mean, in college, they have 60.
60. Yeah, come on.
They have 60 scholarships, and then they have the walk-ons too.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, okay. Good luck
at 19,
with that.
You couldn't tell me nothing. So, yeah.
Right, yeah, good luck with all of
that. And look at the NBA. With
social media too. Yeah.
Right. The NBA players snuck out early on to get food. We just talked about their baseball players. So it's like, and those are professionals getting paid.
And grown adults.
Seahawk that brought in his girl or
he dressed her up as
dressed her up as a player, put her in a uni to sneak her in.
She must have been tough. That's what
in violation and loses his position on the team. So you got grown adults doing the wrong thing and making elaborate ways of trying to do it, but creating elaborate ways to make it happen. But you're talking about kids. I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it being realistic right now.
Right.
Sadly.
But it is going to be tough because, depending on what school you go to, you may be playing, you may not. But we have already seen a lot of the ones that already had their draft stock kind of set. They're like, I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah.
And that also, too, didn't the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, they said they might try to play in the spring. So, Mel, like you were saying, that could impact the combine, the draft. Like, do you still want to go forward?
They were talking about doing a combine virtually some kind of way, which I thought was kind of strange.
For the NBA. The NBA is
was that the NBA? I thought the football was going to do that too.
September, so.
Oh, when's the lottery? Lottery, too. It should be soon, huh?
It's tomorrow. Or today. Tomorrow, right?
It wasn't today.
It's super soon, though. I think it might be tomorrow.
Because they finally got the seating set or whatever.
Yeah. But so I don't know. I mean, I think Nick Saban even said there's no way that spring ball can work, especially for you got juniors and seniors that are trying to leave and go to the draft or be drafted,
right?
And get that money. And he called it a JV season. He said if there's a spring league, it'll be a JV season, and that's what it could be, especially when it comes to the powerhouse and the Power Five.
Oh yeah,
I'm surprised Nicky Saban even said that, being an Alabama guy.
Because he's like he already knows all his players leave sophomore year. I mean, he knows that there's not going to be but his JV team is still beating everybody else anyway.
That would still be squad though.
Yeah.
But I think he's not tripping either because he knows he'll be playing in the fall. I mean,
well,
yeah, he wants to play. Yeah, he's gonna make that happen in no way. In all
I mean,
things,
Alabama, Texas, those places aren't trying to get rid of no football.
No, they're not.
No.
That's what that's
all
culture.
they do.
That's all their culture.
Oh,
Yeah, God, family, and football down there all day.
Right.
Yeah.
But one thing that was so the Canadian Football League actually canceled their entire season, which I guess makes sense when I thought about it, because I was like, well, yeah, most of those players do come from the U.S. and right now with borders being an issue and being able to cross over a border, that would probably been a problem. But that's also an outlet for a lot of these guys that don't get drafted and don't go to the league. So now we're left with another, 2021 is going to be crazy. Like
even still, to get back.
I don't think we're out
again.
of the woods on any of this. I think we're still going to keep rolling until we can contain this monster. But even going into the spring, we don't even know if the spring is going to happen.
Right.
I mean, these are all predicated things that we have happening.
We can keep putting it off, but
it's like we don't know.
Right. We thought we were going to be good by now, and it doesn't seem like we're even close.
No, not even close.
And also, even if we do, they're talking about vaccines, they're talking about different things, but even still, the financial impact of a lot of these businesses and things like that will be long lasting, I think.
Oh, they already said that more businesses are set to close down. Even in Vegas alone, we have 12 properties of hotel and casinos that probably are subject to not even open.
I gotta ask about my Rio. Is it gonna? It still hasn't reopened, right? Is it over?
They're one of those that's impending. Not even.
I was kind of scared about
that. Could be our future baseball stadium, right?
That was what the talk was. I don't know if they still into the bit of it.
Yeah,
that was the talk, though.
That was the talk of tossing that sucker down.
It's not far from the Raiders Stadium. I mean,
it's not far
it's not far from T-Mobile.
Anything,
on the strip, then it's going to be insane.
That's why that's my spot. Honestly, I know it's not the best place, but I'll just slide over to the Rio.
Sadly, it hasn't opened.
Like 10, 15 years ago, maybe.
I say 20-some years ago because I'm old. But I'll say when Prince did his residency there was the last time it was anything
that was a
major there. And that was like, over 20 years ago or so?
Oh, y'all don't like Penn and Teller? I love Penn and Teller.
Oh, we see them at the little parades and stuff. They're our local celebrities. They're always showing up for photo ops. We like them. They're very nice. Yeah, they're nice. They're cool guys.
I mean, the Rio is probably one of the places where you can get like a suite for like $20.
Well, you can get that now on the strip, Mel. You can get that now. So the room rates are so cheap right now on the strip. It's not even funny. Like,
people are coming down here and then they're posting, man, I shouldn't have come down here because there's nothing to do. Well, we could have told you that. Like, there's nothing to do.
Google could have told you that. Google could have told you that.
Clubs, there's no day parties. The pools, you are literally having to wear a mask at unless you're going in and out of the pool. I mean, they're literally telling there's nothing to do. People are walking, and you can't walk the strip because it's 112 degrees outside. So
and all the malls close at 7:00. So what do you do after 7? And then most of the properties, their restaurants, not all of them are fully open. So even your reservations are backed up. Like you can't even get a res in for the night to eat because certain prime properties, all their major restaurants, some of the chains like the Gordon Ramsays and those, they're not reopening. A lot of them are like, no, we're going to wait.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
It is very wild. We're in a bubble. We're in a heat bubble.
Well, Vegas is one of our spots, though, one of our home away from homes for sure, because it's so close. I mean, it doesn't take too long to get out there from where we're at. So
same
you got to come out.
Yeah, that's it.
You got to come out.
And that's the thing too is that we've got the Raiders Stadium, this beautiful new stadium where no one's going to be able to see now for the entire year. They've already announced no fans for the year. The Seahawks today announced that there'd be no fans for the first 3 games, which made me a little happy because that means that no Cowboys can come into our stadium. Because they're one of the first 3 teams. But Kansas City said that they'd have like the 20% or something like that fans.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think it's going to be before there's no fans at all? I mean, even with
Game 1
fans. Well, some of these places are supposedly going to be having fans. I mean, most all of them, especially Jerry's house. He swears there's going to be like all the fans there.
People in there,
yeah.
What would you guys feel comfortable with? What would you guys feel comfortable with? Like, because what can they do? Temperature scan, I mean, and a mask. That's all they could really do, right?
No fans.
With that, because people are drinking and people are yelling, and you're not able to.
They're saying you can pull the mask down while you're drinking, which is terrible because if you pull it down, you're going to keep it down. Because adults aren't disciplined with this whole thing, but they're saying too, if you
makes it come in contact
right
with the exposed part.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're saying if you go get up from your seat, of course you have to wear your mask. But anytime they catch people without their masks, like going to concessions or places like that, maybe they need to kick them out. Maybe if you see them immediately.
It would have to be very strict protocols.
Yeah. And the temperature thing is just whatever. It helps you comfort, peace of mind, but it's like it's not really. You can still be asymptomatic. You still have it. You can still have it. You know what I mean? I commend Mark Davis, and I'm a Raiders fan. I commend him for taking the leap on this and saying no fans in the stadium. Yes, it's disappointing as a Raider fan. Of course, I'd love to see it, but they act like Allegiant's not going to be here next season. Right. So we have, and there is opportunity still to this day for our Las Vegas Raiders fans. If you go on the website, you can try to raffle a tour of the inside of Allegiant. They are still giving tours, small little groups. You know, you just got to win the raffle to try and do so. I've been trying a few times and haven't been able to get in, but
that would be cool.
Photos of what I've seen from people that have worked construction on it. Oh, it's next level, and it's really nice. And it has something for us to give hopeful minds to look forward to next season. Yeah. But and Mark Davis said if he couldn't have full capacity, he didn't even want to go. So if you can't have full capacity,
he's like all or nothing.
All or nothing. And that's how we are. And that's my attitude too. All or nothing. I'm not going to have stuff. And I'm not 100% myself sitting in a stand with a mask on. I'm not even 100% going to a restaurant sitting there with a mask on. This is not normal. Like
I can barely go to a grocery store, keep a mask on.
Right, with a mask on. Like this stuff. And at my job, I'm 8 and 9 hours at my job with a mask on. This thing is not, this is no play. And it's not normal. Right. So I don't even feel, this is the only time I can wear lipstick, guys. I hope you like it. Because I have my mask on most of the day and I'm not wearing any lipstick.
We didn't even talk about the Aces lipstick tribute last night.
Oh, yes. Yes, that was dope. The red lip. That's why I'm wearing the red lip tonight.
I figured.
Because she actually retweeted our IG story, or she shared our IG
story. Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that's tight. That's dope.
Yeah. It was dope. The red lips. I mean, we might as well just call this episode for Tina then. I mean,
yeah, it is for Tina because I have my red lips on and everything. And this is the only time I've worn lipstick this whole week. It's once a week.
That's crazy.
That's the one day I put on makeup.
I put on my eye makeup and stuff to try to glam out my eyes for work, but the rest of it is the lips is the key part.
Yeah. I'm a big chapstick person, and I can't seem to ever have enough chapstick with these dang masks. Like it's like they always just dry your lips out because
you can't have a chapstick. You need a balm. You got to have a lip balm. You gotta have a good balm. I have some balms I can sell you at Nordstrom. You need a good balm because that's what I put on my lips. I wear my mask and it works wonders. My lips aren't chapped when I take it off. Like I'm Gucci.
But see, I'm a chapstick addict, so it's kind of like I'm just used to always being able to put it on. Like I have like 6.
It's a habit now.
Yeah,
maybe you're gonna have to lift your mask up and put it on, and then put it back down every once in a while.
Luckily, I haven't had to wear my mask crazy. Like I don't have to work. I'm working from home, so I don't have to wear my mask for the whole day, which that's beneficial because I don't.
No, thanks. Rub it in.
No, I'm just saying, like I get it. Like I mean, that's why I haven't had like that. I guess real issue yet, but it's just hard. I don't know how it's.
So wearing a mask all day, I had no idea. I was hyperventilating and had anxiety the first time I went back to work thinking like, how am I going to last in this mask? I'm not going to be able to breathe in it. I breathe just fine. Yeah. And I double layer too. So I'm really breathing good. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I tell people that can't do it, maybe you need to get your cardio up. My cardio is not the best, but for some odd reason I can breathe through a mask. So I must be doing something. My lung capacity must be really good to be able to breathe through 2 little mask. So I don't know.
Man. My thing is my face is just too big though. I can't get one that's like very comfortable. I want one that's comfortable that doesn't like move around so much when I talk and stuff. I haven't found the right one yet, honestly, but I don't go out too much either.
You might have to get that Under Armour.
Try the Under Armour one. Mo got
Under Armour.
Yes, it's a sports enhancement mask too. It's supposed to be like absorb moisture. You're supposed to be able to breathe in it. You're supposed to be able to work out in it. Under Armour just released these this month, so I would hop on it. $30.
See, I've been waiting for Nike because I'm like an all Nike guy.
I got you.
And
I get it.
One of my boys actually I used to work for Nike, but one of my boys works at Nike, and they all got masks for the employees. So I'm waiting on that extra one. I'm like,
okay, if you get that one, that'll be a good.
That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
that will.
But I would try the Under Armour if it works and if it's comfortable.
I have to go on a walk with it. I've been wanting to go walking in the morning to test it out and see if I can make it. but it's been so hot here. You know, at 5 a.m, you're still at 101 degrees. Makes no sense, right? So I haven't been able to test it out, but trying it on for the first time, I could tell that I felt comfortable and it was going to be something that could work for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One thing, I want to shout out though. Do you guys remember Alex Bleicher? You guys had him on your show. Yeah. That's your boy, right? Yeah. Okay, so I actually worked at Nike with him in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh my God, that's right.
That's how I found out about y'all.
Because I saw a post you did, and his Instagram handle liked it, and I was like, wait a minute, how does Alex Bleicher know him?
Yeah.
Yo, can I tell you that I have to tip my hat off to Alex. There is no sneakerhead on this that I know. I mean, I know a few in my circle, right? And some are some monsters, but Alex, I can't touch him. I cannot touch him. His heat is so sick.
Yeah,
and every day he posts in his story with new heat, and I'm just like,
he's the man. He's the man, but on top of that, he styles it out. Like he got the whole thing top to bottom. He was like the lead, the visual lead. So he was set up. Yeah, he was set up all the mannequins and stuff. He's out at Nike Caesars now. So
no, he moved to LA. He's in LA now.
Yeah. But he went there when he was with y'all.
Yeah, right. Well, I knew him from Nordstrom. Alex and I used to work together. So
because he wasn't Nordstrom before.
You think he's suited and booted just in active wear?
Oh yeah.
You need to see him when he has an actual suit on and how he puts that together.
Oh, I can only imagine though. Yeah.
People like, I want to dress like that guy.
He's the man for sure.
He's just. And all time, he's just a good guy all the way around.
Oh yeah,
very enlightened, very philosophical. Yeah,
we have great conversations. Yeah, we read a lot of books. Great conversations.
Yes, he reads a lot of books and just an all-time good, solid guy. But his wardrobe, I'm telling you, I tell him, I write him. I said I try to aspire by like him, and he says, "Mo, are you serious? You bring it too." I'm like, no. You bring it better. I can only go off of you as a man, as a guide. I mean, but the heat he has on his feet, it's like, how did you get those? I just can't ever figure it out. But that's great. Shout out to Alex Bleicher, Cleveland Browns fan. We got to get him back on because
we got to talk about those Brownies again for sure.
Yeah, we got to get back on. Definitely talk to him on that.
So just a little quick sports update. It looks like Dallas is up by 6. The
Mariners, Carolina Clippers. Yeah.
The Mariners are up by 1, but it's only the bottom of the 3rd, so I'm not holding any
breath. Still time.
And our lights are up 1-0.
Yay! So we do have our Light Semi-Pro FC team, USL League here, you guys, and they had one of their games tonight because the last 2 games have been kind of called off because one had a COVID case.
So they just delayed it?
So they delayed and postponed. So now they've got a game today.
You guys had the goalkeeper on here, right? And you guys have multiple players on?
Yes, we have. Yes. Shout out to Gabe Robinson. Shout out to Tommy Olsen. Shout out to Lama Dude. Shout out to previous coach Harry Winalda.
Yes.
Shout out to Harry and all those guys. Eric Winalda. You know, we've had all of those guys on. They've shown us a lot of love. So, and you guys definitely, anytime you want to get in touch with those guys or whatever, let us know. You know, if we need help with that, we can.
Do you guys have USL there or no? Do you have MLS or USL there?
We have USL. We have the Arizona Rising or Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising. That's right. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they were one of the ones that they were going to try to make a bid for the MLS. They have an expansion plan for the stadium if they were to get it and all that stuff. So we'll see. But it's pretty cool though. I'm a big soccer fan. Like I said, I watch the Arsenal. But I want to support it locally. I'd love to see it over here too. So
hold up.
Oh,
it's your birthday?
It's your birthday, Strizzy?
My birthday was Saturday, actually.
Oh, happy birthday, Strizzy! You got a fan.
Thank you. I know
your IG is
pretty hilarious.
I gotta follow you. I haven't seen it. I gotta watch it. Or is it your stories or is it your posts?
It's everything. My posts, my stories.
He's going on TikTok. He's
oh, you're TikToking now?
Yeah, just on TikTok.
I have a TikTok too.
Yeah.
Dope. Mm-hmm. That takes a lot of intricacy. That TikTok takes a lot of production, storyboards. You really have to come together on how you're going to make your TikTok. I never realized how hard it is. It's almost like doing a movie. Like this is going to be scene 1.
These videos are my whole life now.
He did the bad boy scene. He like jumped over his bed and everything.
Oh my God, you did!
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
He does great. That's my boy. So
I need TikTok lessons from you. Mine are so amateur. Like I really need to get on my TikTok game. I swear.
It's definitely fun.
It is. Sure. It's cool. Look. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys predict coming out of the final series from the East and the West? Do you think, A-Dub, that we're going to have pretty much a Lakers?
I think it's going to be
Toronto
Lakers. I think it's going to be Lakers, Toronto, or the Bucks. I don't know. I mean, Strizzy, I'd love to see your Heat make a run, but I don't know if it's maybe just a little too early. But I think the Lakers will make it for sure.
But you think the Lakers are going to make it out of the West? You think we're definitely going to go all the way?
Yep. Okay. And it's just going to step up in difficulty because the Blazers are tough. Obviously, we see already down 1, but then it's probably the Rockets and then the Clippers. If everything goes how people think, that's a tough road. But if they get through that, then whoever's coming out of the East, they should be able to handle.
Yeah, one can hope. Man, we need a championship.
This is going to be
a long time.
I like it though because not that I liked the Warriors. I didn't mind that they ran and they did their thing and they were so great. But it is one of those things where, there was a time where we were like, oh, it's always we kind of knew who was going to be, or at least towards the end. This one, anything can happen really this year. So
yeah, the bubble's unpredictable. Who would have thought?
So I am excited just to see how everything unfolds. It could be crazy.
Now are you guys NHL guys? Because you have Chicago Cubs you like, but do you like the Blackhawks?
Not a big Blackhawks fan. One of my boys.
Okay, good. Because I was going to apologize and send condolences to you. We didn't mean to do that to y'all.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So we're actually destined for a showdown though, because I'm an Avalanche fan.
Okay.
So the Avalanche are the 2 seed
series right now.
They finished today. They beat the Coyotes actually 4-1.
Oh, okay.
So, but they're the 2 seed, and the Vegas is the 1 seed in the West this year, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it might be a collision course, but the Avalanche, they've been scoring a lot. They've been very exciting to watch. So I am watching them in the bubble. But the hockey's the same way. The games are coming on really early sometimes in the afternoon.
They are.
So it's kind of tough to catch everything.
Because of time, they are.
But I was really rooting for the Knights, though. That first year especially, that was so cool. So.
It was, and I think we're on our way to making it back. And sorry, I'm just giving you forward just previous condolences if we take down those Avalanches, which I feel like we will. And to all the Knights fans out there that doubted this new coach, where are y'all now? I hear crickets. Because Fleury didn't even play yesterday, and we got another goalie that's actually bringing it and being an awesome defender. I watched that third period of that game. The score was 3-4. Like the Blackhawks definitely had opportunities to score against us, but our guy was not letting it happen.
Yeah, but he let a couple. He let a couple.
He did let a couple bounce off him. Yes, but to be in a crucial game like that.
It's nice to be able to have 2 great goalies that can interchange, because I think our problem before was we were riding Fleury so hard when Saban
had an off night.
Right, we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. And I like this coach and appreciate his versatility of changing them up all the time. I do. I like that. And I like the units that he has in there too. And I like how he has them rotating in and out. It's very strategic, very methodical, and it's working.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even though he's a Sharks coach.
I kind of miss the intros though. I mean, y'all in the playoffs, those the last couple of years, it's like I'm waiting for that. Like I gotta make sure I get the recording on early.
Like a Cirque du Soleil show.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like a huge show.
Night.
Yeah. Vegas nights go live. It's Vegas.
And that's the one thing that I know for me, watching NHL in the bubble has been tough. Like, because you really don't get that. I mean, it really is like watching a practice, which I know other ones are too for other leagues, but I feel like hockey, the reason I was watching on TV was fans and the reaction. People laugh. So not seeing that is a little tough to watch hockey.
Well, Tuukka Rask, the one goalkeeper, I can't remember what team he plays for. All of a sudden, I'm blanking, but he left after the second game of the playoffs. He was like, "This is not really the same." He opted out. He's like, "I'd rather be with my family." But I think part of it they contributed to, like, it just wasn't that environment, that intensity.
No, it's not the same. It isn't.
Yeah.
Even when they score a goal, we hear the horn go off, but there's no cheers. So it's kind of like
they don't even let it go long. Like
they don't let it go long like they used to. It used to be
they used to go long.
They used to go long, and you'd just be going nuts in the T-Mobile Arena. At least in the Knights games, it's like
But now they just do a little bit.
Yeah,
they just do it for a couple seconds. That
you blink and you miss it. You blink and you miss it.
I'm like, lay on that thing.
Away, you step away, and you like go back. Oh, did they score? Okay,
right.
Especially because like, we got let it.
That's what we're waiting for. Yeah,
right.
Lay on
like
that
I
horn.
heard it for a second.
It's tough.
But I'm glad hockey got it together too, though. They're making it work, though. I mean, they are making it work. So
they are. They really are.
Oh man.
Yeah. So much.
The only other thing I wanted to bring up was just because I still don't quite get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. So the whole Fernando, what is it, Tatis Jr.? So the guy with all these unwritten
Fernando
rules.
Tatis Jr. Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, you swung on a 3-0 and got a grand slam. Like the pitcher was pissed. Like, okay, but if you got a good ball, like why not? Like if your coach told you if it's a good ball, you gotta take it. Like, why are you mad just because they're up and he hits a grand slam? Like that's your fault as a pitcher. Don't get it.
Yeah.
And then he went.
Definitely got your mentals on that.
And then he went and stole a base when they were up 6-0. Okay, Ann, what's the problem? But it just seemed like the most pettiest, like participation trophy complainers ever in life with this guy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, so
the worst part about it. Oh, I was just gonna say the worst part about it to me was just his own manager called it a learning opportunity and didn't really back him up, which I'm like, that's kind of messed up.
That's a bad look for a manager. He ain't the manager no more.
Right. You want to be a player's guy. I mean, I'd be like, hey, you don't want him to hit it, don't throw him that fastball across the plate like that. Like,
don't give him that juice. Like you gave it to him. Like that was all you. I don't know. I feel like, times are evolving. Like we're not in 1919 no more. We're not playing in some, it's a, the boys club.
People don't wear suits to the game anymore.
Right. Competition. Like, I mean, I get it if it's like 14-0 and Bob, top of the ninth, like maybe you're not.
They're just trying to go home. That's why. I mean, they're like, all right, we're done. But it is funny though with the unwritten rules. Like there are so many, but it's hilarious how people only apply them kind of when they want to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the fact that they're unwritten means we can just make them up on the fly and kind of agree or not. It is pretty funny, but we did talk about that a little bit on our show though, because our boy Trevor that joined tonight, he's a big Padres fan. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kept seeing those and I was like, wait, and so I had to go back and watch the clips and I was like, are you kidding me? Like this, and that's the reason I have a big pet peeve for participation trophies. So I feel like whenever kids get those, it just basically lets them grow up to be people like this. Or now you want
entitled, you deserve it first.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. It's an entitlement thing. He just wrote that silver spoon kind of complex.
Yeah. Right.
And then wanted to be a spoiled brat about it and thought he could pitch a fit and it was going to work in his favor. It does not.
No.
Baseball. First of all, it's baseball. Why would you even think that anyway? You're lucky you didn't even get punched in the dugout when you went back. That stupid stuff. You know what
But
I mean?
It's funny though, one headline said like, and baseball wonders why they're losing fans and losing interest. It's like, we're going to punish people for running up the score.
Listen, you got some $1 million prima donnas out there, and I'm talking about millions of dollars prima donnas. And a lot of them were spoiled, and so some of them just, don't want to do the right thing. But I wanted to tell you, Mel, I thought it was cute with the Mariners series, how Corey Seager from the Dodgers and his brother Kyle were going back and forth with the yard. And so one would hit yard and they'd smile like, okay, good. And then the other brother would hit yard. So it was good to see those two brothers going up against each other.
Well, and they both hit home runs one game.
Yeah, they did a yard. That's what I'm talking about when they hit yard.
Yeah,
one with yard.
For 2001, I think, 2000, it was like early 2000s, which I don't even know who the brothers were at that time. But
yeah.
Don't happen.
Well, Corey's our guy. We just got him back, so we need that hitter. And that's why we're sitting on top right now of the NL West, because we got our guy back to a certain degree. And Mookie Betts has been doing well. He's been going yard too. He's gotten very acclimated with our Dodgers.
Wow.
And fits in real well.
I'm a low-key Dodgers fan too. I mean, the Royals have my heart in baseball, but I have a lot of different baseball teams that I watch, and the Dodgers are definitely one. And it's funny, like I knew Mookie Betts was good. But now getting to watch him like almost every day, I'm like, this dude's good. Like,
when he was with the Red Sox, he was pretty amazing too. I mean, watching that series, because I was watching that series against them. And he was almost a thorn in my side, but I had to admire how good he was.
Right. I agree. But before that, I was just gonna say I hate the Red Sox, so I never watched them before that. Yeah.
I only watched them when it was our series. I'm not a big Red Sox person. Yes, Yankees are considered like the Lakers of the East. I don't like the Yankees, but Aaron Judge is that guy. I got to give people their credit where their credit's due. I hate Tom Brady. I don't like him, but is he amazing? Yes, he's definitely the GOAT of all quarterbacks. I can't take that away from him. Right. Do you guys, real quick for football, do you guys see the Buccaneers doing anything with Tom? What's your guys' take on that feeling with everything and Gronk coming and all of that?
I'm not as hyped, honestly. I think he'll do okay. He'll be sturdy, but I don't know. I mean, he's got the receiver weapons, but they still need a running back. They just need to stick to a running back and just go with that. So, also, though, randomly, though, before we go too far, I think the brothers might have been Yadier Molina and the other Molina brothers that you're talking about that hit home runs the same day. Yeah. Because the Molinas had like a couple different brothers playing in the league at the same time. So,
okay.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up later. But
well, I know Corey and Kyle did. I know they both hit some dingers out there, and they both kind of smiled at each other after one. Trying really not to smile. It was like a forced, like,
right.
Yeah. They don't want to because they're, opposing teams. Yeah. So are you guys watching Hard Knocks? Please tell them you're watching Hard Knocks with us.
We had to admit earlier, but I mean, it was weird because I was like, oh, I'm excited. I want to see how they do the protocols and everything, but I just
we talked about it
haven't found the time. Like, I just didn't get caught up yet. So I definitely want to watch it. I'm usually a Hard Knocks guy, but
same here.
Tell us about it though. What do you guys think so far?
I love it. I was a big Hard Knocks person, but I watched it today. I thought it was good.
I think what's been interesting was seeing it from the protocol perspective, like seeing just how drastically training camp changes because of this pandemic. Like between all the testing, the players having to get tested, the cleaning, the having to have your own training facilities somewhere else where you have social distancing and they're using megaphones to talk. And I mean, it's just seeing the coaches on Zoom meetings with the players initially because they didn't have contact except for on these video calls. That was interesting. I think now that I finished episode 2, I don't know about you, Mo, I want more. Like, I don't feel like I'm getting enough. I feel like there's 2 teams. There's got to be plenty of footage. I feel like the footage I'm getting is not what I want. Like, I didn't want to see play golf. That was so boring to me. I was like, why are we watching that?
Like, well, I want to see how he was living. I was curious about that. You playing putt out there and going to basketball.
I mean, it didn't even show his house. It just showed his little putt green in the backyard.
I mean, one can only imagine that his house has to be next level if he's got one upper deck that he hits the ball off of and can bounce on other people's rooftops or land on the lower level.
House hunting. Now that was cool. Being able to see this 31.
Now that was dope how they set his house out. Just not even on a buy. Like, so basically they're setting up players' houses. They're staging them to be personalized to them to make them buy the home, even if the owner doesn't sell it to them or not. Like, that house is for sale, and they catered it to him.
That's next level real estate.
Incredible. It was one of those things I've never seen. So that was an eye opener. What I don't like is I don't like a Hard Knock series with 2 teams with similar colors and similar logos, because they pan from one team to the next and I'm getting confused and disoriented. One minute I'm watching a scrimmage of helmets with the Chargers, next minute I'm watching the Rams. And I feel like they're covering more Chargers related things than they are the Rams.
I think also this episode it might have been a little more Chargers.
It was definitely more Chargers, especially with Rex Ryan's son testing false positive on COVID.
It was wearing a hoodie. Right. Which was awesome. Sorry.
Right. But he's like, all I do is go to work and go home. I don't understand why this is happening.
And it was
but did they find out why it was a false positive, or why does that happen? Because that's scary too.
Because they did a negative test for him before, and then they did a rapid test right after for him, and it tested negative on both. So it was just kind of like, well, that one must have been right. Yeah. So it was just interesting how they showed that, because Anthony Lynn, shout out to UNLV, former UNLV guy, had it. So he's taking it very seriously. He is all about the social distancing and spacing. It's cool to see the players kind of fall into that mantra. The Rams, they're kind of still shaky on it. They're still walking around with chin straps. I feel like the
one player had it too, and his wife got it, and their parents got it. So you saw like their backstories with that.
Right.
But it is fun to see some of the different dynamics of the players, like their personalities. There was a guy, he kind of reminded me of like the Tim Tebow of the Rams now, or I think maybe it's a Charger for the Rams.
See, that's when you get excused. You get confused. I mean, it's crazy.
Clay Johnson. So the guy doesn't cuss. Like, he literally is like, yo, fudge. Oh, fudge. And then he's like, shoot, you guys, shoot. But it's just so funny.
Hunky dory.
You know what I mean? So,
but it's a good show.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for more developed stuff with like the rookies, because usually by this time we're getting,
who your guys are. You're gonna focus on a couple people.
See them starting to play because cuts are coming, because they gotta get down to roster size, and so you're getting in tune with more of the players and their story, and then you're feeling bad because they're getting cut or whatnot. We don't have any connections yet with anybody. That's the only thing.
Well, maybe that's a problem too with having the 2 teams, is it's harder to get deeper on each one.
It is, and they're also taking it in phases. They just put helmets on this week. Like, they're usually fully suited and padded up, and they're taking it in baby steps. So you're probably not going to find out who that rookie standout is going to be. They do, however, is it on the Rams or Chargers team, got that overweight running back that needs to lose some weight. Chargers? Yeah. He needs to lose some pounds. He needs to lose some pounds. Yeah. That was a good highlight. So we'll see if he drops his weight and he can, be a contender out there. But for the most part, it's just very confusing at times when the camera flips to both teams.
Well, I will say that,
like they do each episode alternately. That would have taken that.
I don't know if it was even possible until now, but I've watched the IG, but Aaron Donald is in like even crazier shape than he was.
That dude's good.
Oh, he's a Mack truck. This guy is ridiculous. And he's all time too off the field as well. He's an amazing guy. But yeah, his body is like.
He was the breakout star the first Rams when he was playing ping pong without his shirt on. That's when everybody started finding out about Aaron Donald, how much of a beast he was.
Man, he's a beast for real.
12-pack, okay? Like I didn't even know
a beast.
That was possible to have that many abs, and this guy has every single one of them.
I mean, he reminds me of a He-Man character. Like no lie.
Like a little action figure,
Yeah, like an action figure. I'm not sure which one. Like I have to pinpoint it with the He-Man collectibles, but I'm just saying the guy is like a Mack truck. Shoulders out to here, neck out to here, and then the whole torso goes like this. And it's just like, if I could draw a picture, I could. Like I would. Like it's just ridiculous. And he's gonna do some damage out there. He really is. And just showing the highlights of him in the Rams and how he goes through. He's gonna be a very big problem this season. I feel like
he's a monster for sure.
He is a monster. He really is.
I'd be the only one on the Rams that is gonna be a problem though.
Yeah, because Jared Goff, I don't see it. I mean, it's Jared Goff. They got to show the quarterback doing something. But I do like the story on the Chargers end with their core quarterback that they acquired.
Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. He's nice.
He's got a nice arm. A whole other system.
And he's working it. He's doing really well. Yeah, he's doing really well. And he used to do his snap plays by clapping his hands. Now he has to call out these plays. And it's just his transition of the cadence that they have out on the field. He's working through it.
That's the fun stuff to see.
And he can throw. He can throw.
Yeah.
Man's got
he's a big guy. He's got the size and everything like that for a quarterback. So I wonder though if Tyrod Taylor's going to hold him off for a little while or if they're just going to go with Herbert. It depends on how it goes. It's
going to be interesting.
I think it'll probably be Tyrod at first just because I think Herbert does have to learn. Because I think even in this episode, they were trying to tell him, like, when you're doing your calls, you can't change your pitch because the defense will read that. They'll read if you're going to be running it. And so I think there's some things that he's just has to learn because he didn't come from that similar kind of offense.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That you don't.
Is he under center at all yet? Even have they shown?
Yeah, they showed him.
Yeah, he is understanding it. He's actually.
But they just were able to pass on this week. So
that's what I'm saying. And they're one other interesting thing too is how they have customized their helmets. Some want the face shield, some don't. So now they have like a face shield and they have a guard, like a shield that just comes totally in front of it. But I'm very curious to see if they are going to wear masks underneath the mouthpieces or over the mouthpieces and all of that, then the shield. I don't know how that's going to look, but I don't know.
I say go ahead and layer it up.
I would. I like the ones that have them
when you're on the
like
road.
ninjas. Like, wear that.
Right.
At least try until it doesn't work.
Right.
But who knows?
I mean, I like it. I don't mind at all. I like it when I see the baseball players out there wearing theirs up. It's like, why not?
Me too.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
So.
Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's not over an hour, but who noticed, right? I mean, it was
just a good conversation.
We're doing great. But please, once again, remind the viewers and listeners that are going to rewatch this tomorrow and share with all their friends and family, of course, is where they can find you guys and where they can find the podcast. And again, what day and time you guys come on.
So we are Say Like a Champ podcast. It's funny, even I say it sometimes. I'll say it wrong. Yeah, exactly. But no, we're Say Like a Champ podcast. We're on Instagram at SayLikeAChamp _podcast. That's right, Strizzy?
Yeah, correct.
And then our names are on here too, our Instagram names. We do our shows Tuesday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube live. Similar format to this. And then also we do the audio version on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, all those different places. You could just search the name. So, yeah.
Very cool.
We appreciate you guys having us on, though. It's been great. I've really been wanting us to do something, so I'm so glad you reached out.
Well, we're so happy to have you guys on. This was awesome. We didn't even get into the fight of boxing and UFC, but I know you guys are into that as well.
Oh yeah, for
save
sure.
that for another time.
Well, real quick, are you, if you had to pick one and the other had to go forever, if you had to pick either boxing or MMA to just watch and enjoy, what would you pick?
Boxing.
Me too.
Same.
Boxing.
That's the sweet science. Like
it depends on when. Like I don't like right now. I'd rather have MMA, but back then I'd rather have boxing.
Boxing's not happening right now, so that's probably why we're not seeing.
Well, no, I mean not just like this summer. I just mean like the last 5 years, boxing hasn't been the same as it was back 10 years ago.
So you mean even with it's true, Tyson but Fury I mean, you mean to tell me Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight did not excite you?
Yeah, but that's one fight out of how many?
And Anthony Joshua didn't excite you?
I get what you're saying. They don't have the same consistent star power. Like UFC can do one a month and it's gonna be good. Boxing, we gotta wait for that May 5th, that September, whatever.
But I think that's what makes it so unique because you have an anticipation of a buildup of something exciting that you've been dying for, a brawl that you've been waiting to see.
True.
But I mean, I've never been a big boxing MMA fan myself anyway, so that's probably part of my problem.
You have your reason of your choices. I'm just saying if I had to take one or the other, definitely would be boxing. And special shout out to a rest in peace to Jose Benales. He was the owner and founder of a local boxing gym out here who had recently passed away. They did a charity car wash for him last weekend. It was very successful. But you've got young up and coming kids, and shout out to ATG because he has a fight this Saturday. He's fighting this Saturday. So we gotta cheer him on. So boxing is one of those things that it's an all age inclusiveness, whereas MMA is not. You cannot be a kid doing UFC.
Yeah, you can. Grown kids are in MMA.
Are they really at 8 and 9? Yes. Breaking bones? Oh my God! Don't tell me that. No.
Like Randy
so violent. Why are they doing that? They're too young.
No. I think
it's so funny.
He's like 9 or 10. Yeah, he's in it. He's in it tough.
Oh my God. I remember like high school wrestling and stuff and took it there, but you're seeing bloodshed at an early age. Are you serious?
I mean, I don't know about bloodshed, but they're doing they're in the ring.
Oh my God. God bless them. Good for them. Good for them. I still am a boxing. A shout out to like the Layla Ali's out there and Clarissa Shields and all of those that are beasts, and even in the MMA circuit. I mean, we've got some women out there that are just low down, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think, Strizzy? If you had to choose, were you MMA or are you boxing?
I've always I'd say in the last 3 years I've been a huge MMA fan, but I've always been a huge boxing fan. I boxed a little bit when I was younger.
We still haven't seen the footage though.
Yeah, for sure.
Still waiting on the footage.
Oh, Strizzy, you show everything else on your Instagram, so the footage of boxing. I need to see that too.
I was 12. We didn't really have cameras.
I'm sure there's a VHS or beta tape we can transfer over to a disc and see that.
We were hella poor. I don't know if we had anything like that. So, but yeah, I'd say boxing for sure. I love MMA, but boxing still kind of it's a close second. It's like 1A, 1B, but I still have to choose boxing.
I just think of the history behind it and everybody that paved the way.
Definitely.
From Joe Louis to Muhammad Ali. I just can't let that go.
No, for sure.
Yeah, your Larry Holmes, your Mike Tyson. And speaking of Mike Tyson, what do you think of the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr.? Who's going to get it? Who's not going to get it? We'll let y'all go.
I honestly would rather not see the fight. Just because, Tyson, he can still move, and I'm sure that he's going to be lethal. But, Holyfield, right? That's who he's fighting.
Well, I thought he was doing Roy Jones.
Roy Jones.
My bad. Roy Jones, yeah. Roy Jones, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say glass chin, but he never had the strongest chin anyways. So I don't know, but I'd just rather not see the fight, honestly. I don't know. I just don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
But Tyson should win if it goes down.
I want to see it just because, I don't know, I miss watching Tyson fight, you know what I mean? But it's not going to be the same exact thing, but it should be interesting. But I am a little worried for Roy Jones Jr. because Tyson looks like a monster. He's cut all that weight.
He has.
But Roy's younger too, but I don't know.
Yeah, but he don't look as in shape, though. He don't look as in shape. I still think.
And I heard him do some commentating, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just saying, I don't know if it's necessary to keep fighting.
For sure.
So
love it.
But no, we'll see. If it's that's the other thing. I haven't seen all the details, but it's if it's for charity or if it's whatever, that's cool. But I just, I don't know.
So for the most part, you're like, they need not just even.
Yeah, I'm hoping still something happens in the meantime where they're like, all right, it's off, or something might happen. I don't know. I'd just rather not see it.
And now, would you rather see a Mayweather
fight opening?
What's that?
He does. He's
Nate
fighting.
Robinson's fighting in the opening fight for that.
Oh
yeah. Strizzy was telling me about him in the
I forgot. I don't know his name. Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. Sorry, Jake Paul.
Gotcha.
Oh wow, interesting.
Nate Robbins a beast though.
I gotta stick with my dogs,
Yeah.
He was a heck of a Bulls player too. I don't understand how
that's when the Bulls fell off completely. When they got
They really did. They really did.
He took over in the playoffs for Derrick Rose.
They really did. The gator mouth was on. He really did that. He really did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Man.
All right.
That was great.
Well, it's been real. We thank everybody for joining the chat. I've seen the comments. I've seen some people try to say some slick stuff about me and my Lakers. You know how I am. You know where I'm at on social media. We can talk. We can chat this out.
And I'm right there with you. Let's go Lakers. Come on. Let's get together.
Let's go. Purple and gold. We got this.
Start that thread on Twitter, huh?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Right, thank you again so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Guys.
Oh yeah, we appreciate it.
Yes.
All right. See y'all next week.
Yep.
Go Lakers.